Shana Tova and Happy New Year! My name is Rabbi Ryan Daniels, and I am so excited to welcome you here to North Shore Congregation Israel. I'm here in the Large Sanctuary, and I'm so excited to pray with you, to sing with you, and to celebrate this incredible Kol Nidre, one of the most important nights of the entire Jewish year. I'll be joined here with the Friedman family, with Lee and Sadie and Tilly and Isaac. They'll be leading us in music. I am so excited later on to welcome Howard and Abby and Jack and Molly, who are going to offer the shofar blasts for all of us. Oh, do you hear that? Oh, it's my friend Maddie the Bee who's going to help us get ready for Kol Nidre.
Shalom, Haverim. Hi, friends. My name is Maddie, and I'm so excited to be here. Before we get all ready for Kol Nidre, let's get some of our buzzing energy out. You ready? Let's reach up to the sky and down to the ground, and up to the sky and down to the ground. Now let's all take a big, deep breath and sit nice and ready to go and get ready to pray together. Hag Sameach!
Thanks, Maddie the Bee. Can you all wish Maddie the Bee a Shana Tova? Let's say it together. Shana Tova, Maddie the Bee. Perfect. Now that our bodies are ready, let's take a big, deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth as we get ready to pray. This first prayer, it's called Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu, like a parent. We know that God protects us and hugs us and keeps us safe. Malkeinu, like a queen or a king, we can turn to God when we need something, and we can pray, God, please be with us. Help us. Give us an incredible new year. I'm going to open the ark behind me. What's in the ark? Well, it's our Torah scrolls. I think you read a Torah with Rabbi Green last week. Let me open it up. Isn't the ark beautiful? All right. I invite you to take another deep breath. And if you know the words, or maybe you want to hum along, let's sing Avinu Malkeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Malkeinu Malkeinu, Ki Emanu Masi, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Malkeinu Malkeinu, Ki Emanu Masim.
You know, we only sing Avinu Malkeinu, that song about God, on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. But there's another prayer that we sing every single day that talks about God too. In fact, we sing it twice a day. Do you know which prayer I'm talking about? Shema. Repeat after me. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Avruto Leolam Amen.
One of my favorite parts of Yom Kippur is when we get to tell stories. Stories with important lessons for us to think about and talk with the adults at home. So I'd invite you to sit back, open up your listening ears, and get ready for this story. One day, David was putting one of the last wooden blocks on his tower when his sister, Sarah, came in. "I want to build with you," she said. David scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "But I'm big," Sarah responded. "Ugh, stay back, you'll knock it over." "But I can be careful," Sarah begged. "Go play with your baby toys, Sarah," David said back. "But David," she screeched, and Sarah ran over and knocked down his tower. David pushed Sarah, and she fell down to the ground. As Sarah sat on the floor crying, David turned around. "Zadie Morris!" Zadie Morris was David and Sarah's grandpa, and sometimes he took care of them. Zadie Morris just shook his head. "David, you just dripped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Sarah has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your invisible bucket?" Zadie asked. Invisible bucket, David wondered. Sometimes David couldn't quite tell when his Zadie was joking or being serious. But the next morning, when David woke up, there it was, a small bucket floating above his head. When David came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a very important meeting at work. You need to be at Hebrew school soon, and we're running late," she said. David needed to eat breakfast, so he reached on his tippy toes into the cabinet for his favorite cereal. But David slipped, and the choco chip spilled across the floor. "David," his mother yelled, "you should have used the stool to get that." David could see his bucket tip, and big invisible drips spilled out. "Ha ha," Sarah laughed as she crunched the organic cereal with her toe. "Get the broom and clean that up. You don't want to be late for school," David's mom scolded again. He began to clean up his mess, and he could hear his mom honking the horn from the car. David quickly swept up the choco chips, grabbed the last piece of challah. Before he could even take one bite, their dog came running over, grabbed the challah out of David's hand, and put it right in his mouth. When he got to Hebrew school, things didn't get any better. Hey, look at David's new sneakers. Ha, my baby brother has some just like that, Bucket Dipper said. He could feel everyone talking about his new shoes that he had asked for his birthday. Watch out, said another kid, plowing past David on his way inside. It was still morning, and David's bucket felt almost empty. David felt angry and sad, and as he watched his friends walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. David slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Rabbi Susie walked over slowly to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. David, Rabbi Susie said, you wrote a wonderful story about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Will you please share it with the class? David felt a huge grin spread over his face, and he felt a big drop land right in his bucket. The day the shofar blast wouldn't stop. By me, David. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places. When David finally read the end, everyone clapped. Even Hannah, who had sat next to him and didn't usually say hi to David. She told him how much she liked his story. He felt a whole shower of drops filling his bucket. Maybe today wouldn't be so bad after all, he thought. On their way to music, Rabbi Susie invited David to be the line leader. David's bucket was nearly full. David suddenly realized that his Zadie was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. He turned to Gabe, the new kid, and introduced himself. Hi, I'm David. Your first day, huh? Welcome to NSCI. I think you'll love it here. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own. When David returned home after Hebrew school, he burst in the front door and he shouted, "You were right, Zadie. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Sarah's torn doll. The dog was at it again, and he almost scolded the dog, but then he thought that dogs might have a bucket too. Your doll will be okay, Sarah, David said. Mom will fix it. But until then, do you want to help me build the tallest tower of blocks in the world? And so they did. You see, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is about being a bucket filler. We all know that we're unkind or not nice to other people. We take a dip in their bucket. But when we're kind and nice to everyone, when we say we're sorry after we're mean to another, when we don't follow directions, not only do we fill our friends' and families' buckets, we fill our own buckets too. In this new year, may we all help to fill each other's buckets. David and Sarah are so lucky to have such wonderful family who care so much about them. They're so lucky to have food to eat every morning and clothes to wear every day. Hey, we're all so lucky, aren't we? There's so much to be grateful for, to say thank you for. I know a song all about gratitude, thanking God for the people who love us, the things we have, and this incredible world in which we live.
Thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai. Thank you, God. Thank you for my mommy, thank you for my dad. They love me when I'm happy, they love me when I'm sad. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Thank you for the candles, thank you for the wine, thank you for the challah that always tastes so fine. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God. Baruch atah Adonai, thank you, God.
It's that moment you've been waiting for. One of my favorite parts of Kol Nidre, hearing the shofar. I am so grateful for my friends, Howard and Molly and Jack and Abby, who are gonna blow the shofar for us. Are you ready to hear shofar? Let's listen.
Lishana Tova, everyone. My name is Abby Brueggemann, and I'm here with my daughter Molly. Say hi. She is 6, as well as Jack. You say hi. Hi. And he is 8, as well as my father, Howard Sorkin, and we are the 3-generation shofar blowers.
Tekiah, Shivarim, Teruah, Tekiah Gadola.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here with me, for singing with me, for praying with me, and for listening to my story. It was so good to welcome Yom Kippur with you. I'm so grateful. I want to wish you a Shana Tova, a good, sweet new year full of blessing for you, for your friends, for your family, for us all. I also want to thank everybody who helped to make this service possible. I want to thank Maddie the Bee. I want to thank the Friedman family. I want to thank Howard and Abby and Molly and Jack for helping us blow shofar. And I want to thank you. Thanks again for being here with us. Looking forward to celebrating another holiday with you very soon. Shana Tova.
Lishana Tova Tikateu, Lishana Tova Tikateu, Lishana Tova Tikateu, Shana Tova, Lishana Tova Tikateu, Lishana Tova Tikateu.